Hey everyone, in this video we will take a deeper look into my point and click game when you're not around. Thanks for tuning in and let's go. If you're not seeing my first devlog, I'm making a choice-driven pixel art point and click game with a slice of life story about a dad and his son going out on a fishing trip throughout different seasons. I'm working in Unity, and one of the reasons why is because of this plugin called Adventure Creator. So let's go over to Unity for a bit and see what I've been up to. This is my project and this is the scene I'm currently working on. There's not that much right now because it's only placeholder art, but soon I will put in the correct assets, put up functionality, animation, dialogue, and so on. So yeah, there's that. And over on the right side of the screen, we have the very heart of Adventure Creator. And as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff going on. At the top, there's 8 different tabs. Right now, it's on scene. And this is where you want to add all the stuff you have on the scene, like dialogue option, camera, hotspot, interactions, triggers, and so on, as you can see here. Then we have settings where you put up all your behind the scenes stuff like interface settings, character settings, and so on. Then there's actions and variables, but I haven't really touched them, so I'm not going to go into them today. Inventory, I don't have an inventory, but this is the place to go if you have that. Then there's speech, and this is where you set up your subtitles, how fast they should go, speed audio, lip syncing, and different languages. Then there's cursor. This is where you put up your main cursor settings, where you put up your main cursor icon and interaction icons. And the last one is menu. This is where you lay out your UI, your start menu, how the conversation between characters should look like. And if you have an inventory system, this is also where you lay out it. There's a bunch of settings in the menu tab, and I would gladly go through them all, but that's gonna be in another video. Then we have the action list editor. This is probably where you will use most of your time. This is Adventure Creator's visual scripting system, and here you can put up everything from cutscenes, interactions, triggers, dialogue options. In the example I have here, we have a dialogue between characters. This is how you put up your action list. A linear set of actions happening right after each other. So we begin with the dialogue, then we're switching over to a camera fade action and ending with a scene switch. I just moved over to the first scene of the game because I want to show you how big these action lists can become, especially if you have a lot of dialogue, and you often have in a point and click game where you have a choice turn mechanics. So this is the action list. It's quite big, so it's a good idea to keep it organized, because if you take a break from your game and you come back, you can easily get confused. Trust me. So back to the main event. This is my first scene, and as you can see, it's pretty much done. Assets, functionality, dialogue is done. The only thing that's actually missing is the correct music. Over on the left side, as I'm showing here, there's a bunch of assets. Those will start when I begin the game, and that's something you can do with the action list editor. Just gonna run the game and see how it looks, and here we have it. This is the first scene of my game running smoothly. It's always an amazing feel to open up your game and see it just plays, especially when you have been working every night, adding stuff to your game bit by bit, and then reach a point where it all comes together and you play it. That's super amazing and very satisfying. What I'm showing here down in the action list editor is how the trees move from left to right, and in a second I will show you how the dialogue works. We make a choice, it jumps over to the right conversation, the right action list editor. As you can see, this is where we are in the game right now, so you can follow where you are function-wise and dialogue-wise in the game. The trees are still moving, and as you can see, the red box is a trigger box, and when that enters the water in the middle of the screen, the water should stop, and then the boy and the father have reached the destination on the lake. So let's see if it does what it's supposed to do. As you can hear, I'm very excited to see if it works. So crossing fingers. And it works. It's happening a bit too early, but I will polish up that later in the process. So let's jump over to Photoshop and see what's cooking over here. This is a scene I haven't shown yet, but now I have. It's the winter season, which is the last part of the game. The lake scene is actually done, but I needed the colors and some of the visuals for kickstarting another scene that's also happening in the winter. When I start working on a piece of artwork, I always make a very rough sketch to begin with that's only have the core idea of what's going to happen on this screen. And then I work from there on, adding colors, the correct shapes, details, and so on. In this scene, I already had the color scheme, and some of the visuals from the other scene. As you can see, I will leave you for a bit now. I will come back in an hour, so no, I will come back in 1 minute, and then we will see the result of this scene. It's not the final version, but it's almost final. Just a heads up. So I'm back, and this is the result so far. There's still a couple of things missing, but I'm almost there. I'm pretty satisfying so far. I like the level of detail I've added to the image. A little bit of reflection on the mountain on the left side from the sun, and I'm really happy how the car turned out. It got a lot of lovely details. But enough of that. Now we're moving over to the last part of the video. Here we have a program called Trine. It's an open source tool for telling non-linear interactive stories, and I use it to put up dialogue for my game. As you can see here, you start with a single dialogue box, then you can expand to making different choices, which can expand to even more choices. Depends on what kind of branching system you're working with in your game. I'm working with the parallel path system, which you can see here, but there's a lot of others to choose from. If you want to hear more about branching narrative systems, I can make a video about it. But yeah, Trine, it's fantastic to get an overview of your dialogue, your choices, and it got a lot more functionality which I don't use, so please check it out if you don't know about it. I have a link in the description. So, that's it for me for now. I hope you liked this video. And in the next video, I'm probably gonna make a pixel art tutorial. I know I promised in my roadmap that I'll do an adventure creator tutorial, but I'm gonna swap that and do the pixel art first. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye guys.